And it's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show, and I'm Gary.
And I am Mark.
And we're coming to you. We're not live, but we're alive.
We are alive. And once again, we are alive in two different places.
Yep, we're Zooming.
Yep, we talked about getting together. And
yes, we did.
We did. And I have my mask too. And just talking about masks.
Yeah.
We don't have Eddy here who would certainly say you must wear them. But do you get all the problems with people complaining about wearing them?
Oh, yes.
So what's your take on that then?
It's too bad it's gotten political.
Well, yeah, and I understand they're saying I don't have to wear one if I don't want to wear one.
Right.
It's not them. We're trying to protect it's the rest of us.
Yes.
The over 60 crowd that we have to go to the stores, same as they do. And so I think they're just thinking they don't want to wear it because they're not going to get sick. And they don't realize that it's not themselves. They need to always think about. But,
this morning in Ingalls, everybody had on a mask except two guys who I would guess to be in their 50s.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if they were together or they were checking, but I think most of us with our masks on were kind of giving them the stink eye.
Uh-huh.
But,
yeah, I've certainly age of the people, we talked about that. A lot of that has to do with their age, whether they're going to wear one or not. But so lately when I've gone to the store, I think probably more than half have them on. Most of the employees have them on. At Ingalls, all the employees have it on. But, we were going to get together. Gary said we could get together, and we had a plan. And, we're back in North and South Carolina, back to ground zero. I mean, we have more cases now than we did back in March whenever all this started.
I hear Pardee that it's full right now, the beds.
And the Pardee's a hospital up in Hendersonville. Yeah, Watershed does not have a hospital, but
they put them down. They just take them out behind the barn and put them down in Watershed.
Don't say that now. Our people in Watershed, Mayor Thomas might not.
No, that's right. I'm just kidding, Mayor Thomas. You wouldn't do that.
No, never. Not there. And Dee's going to take care of them. Although right now, Eddy is still working at the dollar store, I think. So, well, I don't want to get political either, but I mean, goodness gracious, how hard is that? And I know, it's to some people they think it's got to be made into politics, and everything does not.
It interferes with their rights.
There you go. And I keep thinking,
referring to the Constitution, and go, really?
And I heard that the mayor around where I live, not the mayor, the sheriff, was not going to enforce any of the, the governor's requests. And I understand that, I guess. But, we ask people to put their seatbelts on, and that's against the law if you don't put seatbelts on. That doesn't protect me. That protects the driver. So, I just don't get it. But, whatever it is. Let's hope we have a cure soon, a vaccine come out.
Yeah.
Before too many more people get infected. By the way, I had a test. Have you had a test yet?
I haven't.
So they had a free, no appointment necessary, drive-through COVID-19 testing in Columbus, and I decided I would take them up on it. It was a big crowd, 2 lines of cars. So I had to wait about maybe 30, 40 minutes to get up to my turn, and I didn't know what to expect. And, they fill out this form and all this stuff. And the guy said, have you ever had a flu test? And I said, well, no, I haven't really. He said, well, this is kind of like that, but instead of inserting it 2 inches this way, we inserted 2 inches this way. And all of a sudden this stick goes up. It was, ouch. And my eyes started to tear. And he said, that's normal. And then he had to keep it there 2 or 3 seconds to get a good sample. Yeah. But so anyway, I got my results and they were negative. And that's the point. They were negative that day, but I could have it this day. And that's what people don't understand, And so anyhow, let's all hope for a healthy, all of us and all of our listeners out there too. So
I'll bet our listeners wear their masks.
We have a very educated listener base. Now, I don't have any demographics to tell us that for sure, but
Yeah.
I can just tell from the comments we get. We got one the other month. We got one 3 or 4 months before that. So based on those couple comments,
Our comments are flooding in.
They are. And you can comment, positive or negative, Gary and Mark Show at gmail.com. Gary and Mark Show at gmail.com.
Well, if anyone commented negatively, I would expect Dee Dee would hunt them down and kick their behind.
And you know what? That may be why we don't get negative comments. Because once
Because
she
Dee
got
Dee-
on the show and they met her,
Yeah.
you are absolutely right. Because she knows where you live, I
Yeah.
live, and probably she has a way. She can track them down, I am sure.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a couple jokes for little shout outs.
Okay.
We had last time you were on, so it was a month because you missed the anniversary episode.
I tried.
He tried.
Technological ignoramus here.
No, again, I'll say it was me who took 20 minutes to get connected with Zoom, and that was strictly my error because I just.
But you had our attorney,
Show attorney was there, the mayor
our
was there,
enforcer, the
Dee Dee.
mayor. Hey.
Angela
Right.
and Saluda Outfitters was there. Yep.
Yeah, that's great.
It was great. So anyhow, just a couple jokes. Rich Bauer, he's a fan of ours now, and so he listens all the time. And he sent us a joke a while back, but he has a couple more. And I'm not saying these are sophisticated jokes, and they're certainly on my kind of level, so I like that. I don't like kinds I have to think too much about. So here they are. One is, why are they called French fries when they are cooked in grease? Greece, as in Grease.
Right.
Yeah, we got that. Okay.
One of my favorite food groups. Yeah.
That's right. And this next one kind of has to do with this thing you're going to talk about in a few minutes. He says, I bought a new metal detector. I tried it out in my backyard and it started going off right away. I was excited. I started digging right away. I dug down 10 feet when I realized I was wearing steel-tip shoes. You ever had a metal detector?
There was a time when I worked at Diamond Brand, we actually sold them.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was popular for a while.
A brand called Whites. And we had a fella who worked there who was way into all kinds of gizmos. Jerry Brindle, great guy.
I remember him. Yeah, he was one to help me with my GPS when I first started.
He was the GPS whisperer.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was kind of a hobby now, which just brought to mind when the G&M Podcasting University had our team building hike back in the spring. Remember the guy coming the other way? He had one on his.
That's right. That's right. He was asking us if we knew of something, a ruin, like an old house or something.
Yeah.
He wanted to.
There was a chimney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure what he was looking for, but.
Well, remember that old camp story about the what was it called? The Happy Land, or what was that place?
Oh, the Kingdom of the
Kingdom. Wasn't there supposed to be some money hidden back up there somewhere?
And the chinking of the chimney. That was the story.
Yeah, well, maybe we should check that out. We'd still have to do our Beach Point hike one day.
We do, and I mean it doesn't have campers this summer, so
we could do it anytime.
We could.
Yep. Well, you've been hiking. We went on a backpacking trip just a week ago. Yeah, I know. I was talking to Howard, our chief whatever person, and we were talking about backpacking and said how, man, you just get into that and you love it, and to me it's like torture. It's like even thinking about it.
But my pack does, even with water and food, at its heaviest, it's 25 pounds, and without water and food, I'm about 15 pounds. Mm-hmm. That's not bad. And I got 2 poles for extra legs.
Yeah. So do you have any like freeze-dried beer that you can find some spring water?
Well, the closest I've found is you get like Evan Williams 100 proof bourbon.
Uh-huh.
You just add a little water to that.
A little extra water.
That's the ground softener at night.
So you and Hoyle went out on in the Great Smokies again. So when you go with Hoyle one time and your other buddy another time, do you go on a separate trail, a new trail, or are you on the same one?
Well, the one Hoyle and I went on, or the group of trails, it was a loop I'd done in the fall of 2015.
Okay.
And it's a nice loop, but we did it I think when I did it with David, we did it clockwise. This time we did it counterclockwise, which I prefer because the first trail you're on in the morning of day 2, you got a bunch of creek crossings, and I'd rather get them done early in the day than late in the day.
Now, when you say creek crossings, you mean you're in the water, or
well, you could try and rock hop, but it'd be a great way for a 70-year-old man to end up being evacuated. Better just
walk right through.
Just
you don't take your shoes off, do you?
I don't wear my hiking shoes. They get wet fast and they dry pretty fast.
Yeah.
Just, wet socks all day and put on dry socks at night. But most of these loops, there'll be like a payoff, which would be the view. And the view, one trail leads up to Welch Ridge, and that trail leads you out to a place called the High Rocks. And I had heard many years ago that this view was this inspiration for Sumner and Jane Williams naming their camp the High Rocks.
Okay.
And I've been to this view now. This is my 3rd time. My first time was 20 years ago, and there was a fire tower there in the 30s. I mean, 20 years ago it was gone, but the old cabin, the resident cabin, it's falling apart. And what I've noticed since my first visit 20 years ago is trees are growing. So the view is a little more obstructed than 20 years ago. And even when I last saw it was October of 15. Well, now everything's leafed out. So I had a view looking south, but that was about it. And there was family there. I'd say the parents probably in their 40s, 3 kids. He had been at Camp Daniel Boone. And
you mean as a camper years ago?
As a camper, and in his Boy Scout troop, he'd hiked in the Smokies. So here he was taking his family, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. So see any bears this time?
Let's see. On this trip, no. On the trip I did in early June, I did. And he was a pretty good sized bear. And that was on the 20-mile trail. And my buddy David Burns said, "You're not going to go." I mean, he was up above me, but he was about 20 feet away. And he didn't seem afraid of me at all. And David said, "You're not going to go walk by." And I said, "Well, he's not being aggressive." I had a whistle. I blew multiple times. And the bear just, looked at me like so. But he wasn't approaching, and he was just there. And I was tired. It was the end of the day. I just walked on up the trail. He was not interested in me, but that was that hike, that trip on day 2. I was watching the trail as we were walking along what Parson Bald on the way to Gregory Bald, which it's not a bald anymore. And I thought I saw something in the trail, and starts, and there was about a 4.5 foot timber rattler, but bless his little noisy tail, he let me know. And
Boy,
I know it's their place, and they have a place in this world, but they still make me uneasy.
especially when you don't see it at first, and then all of a sudden it's there. It's nothing
Yeah.
worse. It's one thing when you see it 30 feet ahead of you, you got time to react and throw a stick over toward it or something, get it to move out of the way. But
But well, backpacking, you're really, other than if you pause to look around, you're looking mostly at the tops of your
yeah,
shoes
yeah.
and maybe a few feet in front. And I thought, oh, there's a pattern there. And
Uh-huh.
then it made noise. And then he got over to the side. And then he can only strike a third of his length.
I
So he
remember
started
that. Yeah.
doing the math. And I generally step over into the next county.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably leave part of you on the trail too,
Yeah.
like me. Well, so
Yeah.
Gary, we're coming on July 1st, and
Yeah.
any things in history coming up for?
Well, with all the one thing that sticks out is July 1 of 1863 was the first day of the Battle of Gettysburg, which was a 3-day battle.
Fierce
And
battle.
yes,
Yeah. Have you been to that battlefield?
several times.
Yeah, I've been at least twice, I think 2 or
Yeah.
3 times.
And
Some,
it's huge.
it is, yeah.
It's an immense, it takes several square miles. You can't, if folks ever want to go walk a battlefield and get a feel for it as far as history, to me, the Revolutionary War, they're smaller battlefields, and you're dealing like at Cowpens, there's maybe 2,000 guys on each side, not 70,000. So
Gosh.
it's a little more able to get, your mind around it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's and the other thing, of course, Gettysburg covers such an area. So much of it now has got businesses and strip mall, commercialized battlefields from the Civil War that aren't. And I have not been to many, but ones that aren't that developed, because Antietam it's only about 20 miles from Gettysburg. That's a nice one. And then in Tennessee, near the Mississippi border, Shiloh.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you went there last year, so
That was last year.
Yeah.
I hadn't been there since 8th grade.
Wow. Was that 8th
Stayed
grade?
at the state park, car camping at the state park there. They got hot showers.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Davidson River National Forest Campground used to have hot showers. I'm
Yeah,
not sure
maybe
if
they still do.
Is
You don't find that in the Smokies in the
No,
car.
I don't.
No.
So there's it's pretty rustic camping there, especially on the AT. You're not gonna find any hot showers anywhere. So
So
we
July 1, and then that kind of segues into July 4, and of course we're getting into that time of the founding of our country.
That's right.
We need to take a little time to think about it. It's only been how many years now?
Yeah,
200, and you got
so,
to understand we're a work in progress.
Yep, I know. Yep.
There are things that need to be fixed that aren't fixed.
Nope. Come a long way, but got a long way to go. So
yeah, we do.
Yep. Of course, I'm proud to live here, but
Me too.
we always have things we can work on and get better about.
That's
being nice to each other. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're nice to me. I tell you what, if you weren't nice to me,
also with you. Same
yeah.
way.
Well, thank you.
And one thing we can do to be nice to each other.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you have homemade one. Mine comes from CVS.
Yeah.
And you only are supposed to wear it like 1 or 2 days. So the bank I bank at now gives you one free when you walk in. So I always take one there. I guess another couple of days. I'll try not to go anywhere or just go through the drive-through. So
yeah,
I'm taking it easy or safe as much as I can. I know you got to get out in public sometimes though. So Gary's got something new we're going to talk about in a minute, but before that, just want to remind people that Gary and Mark Podcasting University, you can't get out to go to any school, and we kind of wrote the book on social distance in education.
We were the tip of the spear.
Yeah, so people wanted to, if these schools, they're talking about maybe not even getting started on time in the fall or having to adjust how they do schooling, they should just look at us for a model.
There you go.
They know how it's done. And we're able to do it on a low budget, meaning no budget.
Incredibly low budget.
Yeah, I mean, no one gets any money, none, just much as we do.
Yeah.
We don't even make them buy books.
No.
We can pay student fees.
No,
if we had a cafeteria, I'm sure it'd be free, but we don't. You got to bring your own food if you ever go there. So just go to the website, www.garyandmark.com, and you'll get all the information, www.garyandmark.com.
Now, we could make a little money if we could develop all the bookstore swag, the koozies, the pencils.
And, when I go to a campus, just walking around some strange campus, I head to the bookstore, and that's what I want. I want a T-shirt or a pencil or something with the name on it. That's probably how we could fund our university and this show, just selling that swag. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we do have a sticker. I have it.
We do.
We do. So people can get one of those, and they can display it on their car, on their backpack, on their bicycle, whatever they want to do it. Shopping cart, right in front of their mask. Here we go, right here. It's even a two-tone. And we'll send you that for just a couple bucks on the website.
There you go.
Or
it was a great conversation piece. Parked there in the Smokies at the trailhead.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's
the Rabbit Island. Somebody goes, Rhode Island.
There you go again. Yeah.
No, Rabbit Island.
Poor Rabbit Island. It's like the little stepchild or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Gary, you have been working while you've been at home at the stay-at-home stuff, and you have taken the Big Whiz Pocket Buddy to a new step. You've got a whole new possibility. It's kind of a derivative of that. Tell us about that.
Well, we gotta lay it out there that basically the sales of the Big Whiz Pocket Buddy app have just kind of hit the basement. And
it wasn't even an expensive app to begin with.
No, it wasn't. No. But you don't have lots of old guys standing in line waiting to use the urinal.
No lines anymore.
No lines, and so no demand. So Big Whiz, that was an app, but we've worked hard in the shop, and we've come up with another. This isn't an app, this is actually, it's a little
product.
Yes, it is. Thank you. And we're happy to roll it out. It's the Little Buddy.
The Little Buddy.
The Little Buddy is a perfect sidekick to that Pocket app.
And just as a reminder for people who are joining us late in our run as a podcast. So the Big Whiz Pocket Buddy app was a device that Gary and his smart team of developers came up with for these old men like me who you get in line, you finally get into the urinal, and you just can't go because of whatever kind of issues you have when you start getting older. So you push a button on this app, and it makes this fake sound like you are peeing like a teenager used to say.
Like a teenager, yeah.
And that would impress everybody in line, so they would give you space. They would know you meant business.
Yeah.
And it was selling like crazy. But like you say, there's no lines. You want to pee now, you can just go into the bathroom pretty much.
Yeah.
So this is not an app, but it's a product.
It's a product, and it takes up less room in your pocket than a smartphone.
Well,
it comes in its own little pouch, and Little Buddy, it works two ways.
Two ways. I like that.
Well, way number one, as an apron, sort of,
Yeah.
and way number 2 as a bib, sort of.
You probably need to explain both of those.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Or you, it's, if they're watching us on YouTube, they can probably see you demonstrate it here in a minute.
Well, let's look at way 1 first.
Okay.
You're in public,
Yep.
far enough away from the crowd, but you can still be seen.
Yeah.
And you got to go. And there's a tree or 2 nearby, but there's not a lot of trees. So you stand near one of the trees at an angle, and you reach in your pocket, and you pull out this little pouch, and you open it and deploy, kind of like an apron. You just tie it around your waist. It reaches down to your knees. Then you slide your hand under the apron.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Open your flight discreetly and download.
So they
and leaves your hands free.
Yeah.
You could handle your phone. You could have your phone in your hands while you're doing this. And it could look like, you're just a guy standing near a tree wearing an apron, texting a friend.
So is the apron
no big deal?
The apron then probably is not going to be a bright colored neon something or another.
No.
Bring attention to you. So yeah, I like that idea a lot because there are times you have to go and you can't find anything.
There you go. Now way 2.
I love way 2.
In this case, you're in a private setting and you need to go really bad. Maybe you're wearing socks with your sandals and you really got to go, but you just can't make the arc you used to make.
Whew.
You're not sure you're going to clear your shoes. So in this case,
I can appreciate this.
Yeah. This case, you put it on, well, let's just say instead of apron, more like a bib. Okay.
Okay, so this actually goes on your body parts.
Yeah, on your body parts, kind of under your apparatus.
Yeah.
So the water just slides right down. This apron. It's made of a siliconized nylon.
Now, is this the same apron? Is double duty?
Yeah. You could, because this thing, it just doesn't. Water just runs right off of it, like off a duck's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a gossamer thin siliconized nylon with this durable water repellent finish. And, it just, you have this on like that and you're making water and it's just sliding down sort of like a sliding board, moving away.
I can picture
away
that.
from your socks, away from your shoes. Your own little built-in water slide, only it's your water. And afterwards, you just give it a shake.
Uh-huh.
And your little buddy, you shake that.
Give your product. Okay.
And then you can freshen up, with a squirt, tiny little bottle of Little Buddy Bath that comes. This is a sanitizer. It's not sold in stores and can be used again and again and again and again.
So where do you get this, Little Buddy?
Well, that would be from G&MPU.
So just check it out, yeah.
Just check it out. You don't have to be able to pee over a school bus anymore, like in the old days.
No, I can't even do a Volkswagen. You remember the old days. You could. I mean, it's honestly, it could be a 10-foot trajectory.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Little Buddy.
Thank you, Little Buddy. Now, I guarantee you people out there who are in their 20s and 30s have no clue what they're in for.
Yeah.
So it's just a good thing there are people like Gary and GMPU who are developing these products to make your life better.
Doing our research. Working hard.
And of course, if you are in a rush for the Little Pocket Buddy, you could always run to CVS and pick up a pair of Depend, I guess, and just go where you stand. But those are messy, and once you load them up, they weigh a ton.
Now,
and then
I've been known to just a big old water bottle with a lid on it that you can close. Just have to open the driver's side door to the car and stand there. And
Stand there. I used to know if a person did it while he was driving. It's
yeah,
probably dangerous. But,
I'd have,
a friend of mine's brother, he said, used to do that. Won't get into any details. Won't
yeah,
mention who that is. Well, I like this. The little buddy. Another
yeah,
thing. You heard it first here.
yeah.
July 1st, 2020. Little buddy.
And it's our independence and our freedom.
There you
You
go.
know,
All goes. There you
little
go.
buddy.
There you go.
As you get to be older and you still love your country and you want to celebrate freedom, little buddy can help you out.
Maybe we should. Well, we don't want it in red, white, and blue because it'd be
Yeah.
too easy to be spotted. So maybe
Yeah,
clear. Now it can't be
Yeah.
clear because you can see underneath if anybody
No.
does glance. Just a
No.
little kind of a blah color that kind of blends in with
Yeah.
everything. So have you had any Saharan dust storms up your way yet?
I saw on Facebook somebody a sunset saying,
You know,
"See,
I did too.
look."
I'm look. It's certainly hazy outside. I'm not sure whether that's because it's cloudy or
Yeah,
Saharan dust coming this way, but maybe some of our listeners have had some experience with that. Well,
I'll drink a hazy IPA later today.
now, who makes that? Because I've heard of that.
Well, the one I'm going to give a plug to Oscar Blues since my son-in-law's there, but it seems like all the breweries have a kind of a hazy, some kind of cloudy.
Actually,
IPA.
I think that Oney I like says hazy IPA on it. And I'm going to put in a plug too for Dunny's Oscar Blues place because they have a light beer that if you can't stand light beer because it's not beer, you ought to try this called ONE-Y, or is it just ONEY? Oney. 100 calories, 12-ounce can.
They can't keep them in stock.
I know. I can hardly find them, but it tastes like beer. It's an IPA, and it tastes like beer. Light, 4.5 or what's the ABV?
Maybe 4, just
4
like
something.
4.
But it's got
Our research specialist Howard, he's a beer snob.
He is.
He approves if it passes the Howard test.
That's true. He said he tries to keep some of that around.
Yeah.
We should get him on the Zoom. We'll have to bring him in on another future down. Hopefully we can get together soon. I mean, you just read, you get mixed messages about who's open and who's not and what's safe and what's not. So we know being socially distant is certainly safe.
Yeah.
We hope so anyhow. Well, Gary, it's been fun seeing you again. Look forward to seeing you in person soon.
I'm looking forward to, I feel like one of the, just like you can go out and sit 6 feet away from someone and feel.
Oh, yeah, and you had said you would do that. And, there is I told you, a new brewery opening in Polk County, down where I live, called Iron Key. I told you this, didn't I? And I want to do a broadcast. Yeah. Looks great. It's in a building that used to be the old Polk County jail. Now, that jail has been used. I don't know when they moved out of that one because they just moved out of the one that was more recent. And the 4-H people had bought the old one. It's been vacant for a long time. So Iron Key, of course, has to do with the old Iron Key. But it looks really neat on the outside, and all the pictures of the inside look neat. I don't know whether it have to wait because bars aren't supposed to be open, but whether a tasting room is the same as a bar, I have no clue. It's one thing to have 50 people. Is there a rule?
I think the thing about a bar, they don't want people up at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I don't know how they're doing it down there at Green River Eddy's, but at SAB, Southern Appalachian Brewery, well, now when you walk up to order a beer, you don't actually go inside the building. It's they got a big awning. They've kind of blocked off. They got a cash register. You go up, but you're not inside the building. And there, you wear a mask and make your order, and they bring you the beer, and it's in, say, plastic cups, and you go, I don't want to. Well, these cups are made of corn, so They biodegrade, and the only people allowed in the building, they've kind of got to run it roped off. You can go to the bathroom.
Not,
But
you won't need to do that if you have the little buddy
that's
device.
yeah.
You should sell those. Maybe you should set up a little tent of your own.
They're right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have a mannequin. You have you show you how
Sure.
is it complicated to install the second part of that, the part that works the slide? Is that hard to install? I mean, I can't. Does it come with any pictured directions? I guess I should say, because I need some visual.
Yeah.
It's hard to type up step one.
Since the second application, he's not covering up your stuff, but going under it. You'd have to be in a private setting there.
Yeah, but it comes in handy when you need that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to look forward to getting together with you soon. You and I have not gotten together since that first social distancing, and I don't remember what date that was, but it was back in March. So April, May, June, 3 months ago. Wow.
Was that when we were back on the back deck?
Yep, that was the last time.
March. Wow.
Well, I think so, because I think that's about when they first started saying, move apart. So I keep looking for those numbers to go down.
Yeah.
They're down in some places, but down here
let's give the one summer camp I know that's going to try and do something. If shout out John Dockendorf, Camp Pinnacle.
And there are others. So Wayfair is opening about now too, and I think Timberlake is, and I think I saw where Daniel Boone Scout Camp's open.
Really?
No, you know what? I'm not sure about that. There was a church camp, a new church camp somewhere up in Asheville area, and I think I heard they were going to be open. So good luck to them, and be safe. And because Gary and I are both camp people, and it's hard to think of not having a summer with campers.
Yeah.
So anyhow, we want to thank our sponsors as always. You mentioned a second ago, Green River Eddy's Tap Room. It's
Green River Eddy's.
Saluda Outfitters. Yep. We had Angela on the anniversary show. LJ Myers and his professional white dove releases. One day we should have had him for first anniversary, but usually he does like the 100th. That's 100 doves loose.
Yeah.
So just letting one loose would be kind of anticlimactic. It wouldn't be very, dramatic. But we could add up our ages, and he wouldn't have enough doves.
Well, of course, this isn't a sponsor, but thinking about dove release, I have a wren nest in the garage that is just over the top the way it's built, and it's been there. We just could never take it out. It's been there for years, and they still come back, and a batch just fledged.
Really?
Little bitty wrens hopping around. Pretty cool.
So they use the same nest year after year.
Yeah, I was going to take it out one year and didn't, and then went back in and like, whoa, there's kids in there. Leave it. So leave it.
Well, good for you. All right. Thank also, of course, Big Wheels Pocket Buddy, who now is the parent company, I guess, of the Little Buddy.
Little Buddy.
Device. Yeah, I'm going to have to make sure that gets on the website.
It's on a little pocket pouch.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Nice. Discreet. And, of course, Rabbit Island Resorts.
Yeah.
Just a hair better.
Yep.
Well, it's been a fun episode, Gary. So I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
This is the Gary and Mark Show. We hope you'll subscribe, follow, all those good things you can do, and we'll look forward to seeing you in another episode.
And before we close, let's also give a plug to The Country Life.
Well, thank you, Gary.
Columbus Mark.
Yeah, that's my new YouTube channel. Yeah, so go to youtube.com/thecountrylife.
It's very enjoyable.
Well, I'm glad. I don't have a lot of subscribers yet, but you know what? I wanted to get 100 because you get to have a fancier name. You don't have to have all those gibberish things after YouTube. So I didn't know that you don't get a choice of that name. It's kind of based on what you already are called. So, but it's easy. It's just a lot of letters now. Instead of numbers, letters, uppercase, lowercase. So it's youtube.com/thecountrylife with Columbus Mark. So it's a lighthearted look at life in the country. I have an episode coming out this week, and we'll try to do a July 4th fireworks episode if I can
Well,
get up to Landrum where it's legal to buy them, because the town of Columbus is not having their show. So I'm going to put one on outside here in the country.
well, all
Yep.
right.
All right. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, all you folks out there, and glad to have you with us. And we'll look forward to seeing you in another episode. All right.
Until the next episode, Mark.
All right. Yeah. You too, Gary. Take it easy. All right.
You too.
Goodbye.